Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Stanley Parable, and we're going to achieve another ending in the Ultra Deluxe Edition. The first one we did was the mysterious and very creepy skip button that ended up weird. If you guys haven't seen that or want to see that, make sure you see that first to avoid any potential spoilers about what you're about to see. Just warning you. And if you guys want to subscribe, please do. It only takes 2 seconds and it helps me out greatly. And don't forget to like the video, guys. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And it would mean a lot to me. It would mean the world to me. Just 1 second just to like the video. Not even a second, just tap the button. Just tap it very quickly. But anyway, let's get straight into this game.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Oh my god, look at that. So, first time it was just the new content. Now it's the new content. The ultra content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay, what is it? You know, I'm down for it. I'll be more than happy to have a look and see what the narrator has done. First time he made us a skip button, and well, we all know how that went. But we don't get into the skip button.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, so I have not seen this. I knew it was to do with a Stanley Parable 2. I haven't seen anything about it. The only thing I know is that it was about.
See? Isn't this far
Stanley
superior
Parable
to a
2.
measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Everything is updated.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sure. So we are in the expo hall. This place actually looks amazing. Like, what?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Like what? There's merch. I mean, I would take some merch. There is the Stanley Parable 2 reinsurance bucket. What even is this place? Okay, so the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. You know what? I'm down for that. Let's have a look at that.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Let me try it.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
I am now
here
a
we
Jim.
go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
Okay,
Otherwise,
okay,
it's
okay,
just a
okay.
stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay,
Okay.
we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I am Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim,
What?
rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim. Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
You know, I am
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim. I am a cult member who has substance abuse, horror movies, and fun.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I am confused about what is going on right now. Can you add jumping into the Stanley Parable 2 by chance?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
You know, I am going to go straight into the reassurance bucket. Let's see what this
A
bucket's
common
all about.
complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I'm holding a bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Do I get to keep the bucket? Oh, no way, I actually get to keep the bucket. No, I'm keeping this amazing bucket. This is
Does
the
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
free new and easy trophy. I can't believe it's that simple. Let's pull the lever, receive your new trophy. Okay.
Now,
Yep.
here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
God damn it, I actually thought I'd be able to get the trophy. So if you don't know, there is a trophy in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe called Test Trophy.
What
description.
else?
No
What other
description on how to get
exhibits
it.
haven't we seen yet?
No description on how to get it. Nothing. It's the
You know
jump
what? Let's
circle.
bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh. There's the infinite hole as well. Which sounds kind of sketchy. But let's have a look. You know, I'm down for it. I've got my reinsurance bucket. I am positive about this infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the
Oh
end of
god, you could
time,
actually
if you
fall.
like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Something's going on down there. And the creepiest thing is I could actually fall down there. That scares me. Why do I want to fall down the infinite hole? I really want to fall down the infinite hole. Like, this hole is just... It's just something else, you know? It's just something else. Like, could you imagine falling down it? That would just be... Yeah. Yeah, no thank you. Okay, so apparently... Sorry, I'm just looking online. Apparently it's actually an ending. Okay, so it's not actually... You know what? I'm doing it.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What's the fun in that?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, I'm going to the bottom of the hole.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a
Look
cheat,
at
and
that.
you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Oh, you
What
know it.
normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Alright.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively
Nope.
thrilled. Oh, gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well,
Really?
there
He
it
wants
is.
me? Oh
The
my
shame
god.
of my lies. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the,
Oh.
teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
He just left me. He left me in the hole. Something's going on. What is going on? Yeah, I don't like this hole anymore. Oh my god, the hole's shrinking. We're going down. We have a problem. Oh, we have a big problem. Also, this is very dramatic for a hole. Why is the music so dramatic? Oh my god, hello. Hello, Stanley. We get to see Stanley, finally. Why is this even a thing? So look at Stanley. I'm literally creating just music out of this. Oh my god, what the... What is going on? Why am I upside... I'm upside down. This is... Okay, this is getting hella trippy.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there. drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them.
Do not.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me he's just gonna abandon me every time. Am I stuck in the hole? Oh, wait. Oh, I'm back at the start.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Also, I like how it now says mostly infinite hole. Free trophy, merch, rules settings, world champion, reassurance bucket, which I have, office decorations, epilogue. Okay then. I'm tempted to go back to the infinite. You know what? Mostly infinite hole. Fine, it ended. Fine, the hole ended. You're happy now? I don't know why. I just have like a need to just do it, you know? I'm just testing it, see if it works or not. I have a massive need to want to jump down the hole and see if he says anything, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be a good guy. We've already had the jump circle, which we have no jumps left. Let's go here to the collectibles. Okay, this.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What's going on? This is something else.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Don't tell me I have to find all of them. Do not tell me I actually have to find them all. Because the answer will be no. But there is a new section here, so I'm going to explore this. Wait. Exclusive. The button that says gym. That's gym. Oh my god, what is going on with this place?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Can you not just... We've already explored the whole place. Please do not tell me there's going to be... I've got a feeling I might have to find all of these statues. I don't know where I'm going to find them.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
No, he took away the gym button. That's no fun. Like, I want to be Jim, okay? I want to be the cult leader who has a massive substance abuse and who dies surrounded by all his cult members. But weirdly not his family. You know what? Jim sounds like a decent dude. I don't know what else to do, seriously. Like, there's collectibles X. Wait, can I just like go to the exit? Yeah, let's try going to the exit. Maybe that'll trigger something.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Okay,
Ready to
it's
move
cool.
on now?
Yes. Please get me out of here. I'm not collecting every single trophy. If there is actually 6 trophies in the Stanley Parable 2 Expo Edition, I'm not seeing them all.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
No.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say,
No.
let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
What's going on?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh wow, I'm actually going into the Stanley Parable 2. This is interesting. You know what, let's have a look, see.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
Okay, that's just the same. Do I get my bucket at least? No? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yes, I
Perhaps
can.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I get my reassurance bucket. I'm carrying this with me. I'm gonna do the base ending and see what
Stanley
happens there.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes, I did. I will go through the entire, main one and see.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is 100%. Oh my god, that's actually true. There's actually these.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. So we have 6 trophies to collect. Why is this game doing this to me? Stanley Parable is really something, you know that, don't you?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, my bucket is great. My
Stanley
bucket is
and the
amazing.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Why, yes, we did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I'm gonna remember I'm employee 427. The reason I'm gonna remember that is simple, because it says
The monitors
that
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
4,
Everyone in the
2,
office
7.
was being videotaped,
Oh yeah, that's my
monitored
office.
like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
So now it's talking as if the button has
Was
feelings.
the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
It's talking a lot about the
At this
bucket.
point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good.
And yes, we will.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
Start with the bucket, man.
Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least At least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay then. So that was just one of the endings. The sequel. Okay, so it is actually literally just an entire Stanley Parable 2. It changes the entire thing. So you can still play for the normal endings and go through, obviously, your other endings as well. That's so cool. Right, guys, I'm leaving this here. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And we will pick this up, hopefully, tomorrow. Sorry I haven't been active that much, guys, as well. I've been having to deal with some personal issues. I'm going to try and play as much as I can. I have recently just got hold of an Xbox One, so I want to play some games because I know you can video record on there as well. Without further ado, guys, please like the video, please subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye.